Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another weather forecast here by Adrian of the Forecast. It's going to be another update on this very rare snowstorm potentially out here into the northeast and New England area. This is very likely going to be a bomb cyclone as well, so definitely bringing possibly blizzard conditions because we are going to be seeing some very strong winds as well. And you're probably wondering why it's happening. It's all because we have a very huge cold front as well. So be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel. I will have another update possibly later this late afternoon or early evening on another update on the potential disturbance in the Gulf. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Also, of course, share the channel to any friends or family. Let's try to get to 2,335 subscribers by the end of today. We are 4 subscribers away from that goal. So please share and subscribe if you are new. But without further ado, let's get in this video. So we're gonna be looking at the National Weather Service right now. Here's where we have a ton of really winter temperature like advisories or alerts. We have millions under freeze warnings here in this very dark blue color. That's all the way throughout the Midwest, all the Ohio Valley, all the way up into the Georgia area where we have freeze warnings, all the way from Georgia to Wisconsin to Georgia to New York. So very widespread area of possibly 20 to 30 degrees below average. That's exactly why we have this snowfall in the first place, this incoming cold front, and we have a ton of moisture out here in the Gulf. In the southeast, we're seeing a ton of rain in these areas, so this is definitely cause that perfect scenario for snow. And then we also have frost advisories throughout areas into the Ozark Mountains, parts of the Midwest, and even scattered areas to the south central, or sorry, the southeast, and we also have freeze watches as well throughout areas into across the mid-Atlantic. So this is exactly why we are seeing this snowfall coming out here. Here we have the satellite imagery, if this actually works. So here we do have the satellite imagery. So this is exactly where you have this incoming. You're going to be seeing that incoming cold front here, and this is where you have all that cloud cover. This is all going to be from all this precipitation. So as you can tell, we're going to be seeing a ton of rain, and this rain will turn to snow in these areas across Pennsylvania, New York. So as you can tell, it is going to start moving eastward now. So we're going to start seeing this. We're going to start seeing this cloud cover dense up a lot more throughout the New England area later tomorrow. So as you can tell, really where we have the most dense color of a cloud cover, that's going to be where we're seeing this extremely heavy rain, and that's where we'll possibly see that rain converting into that snow. So let's go ahead and check out the radar and match it up with the cloud cover here. So let's go ahead and check that out. As you can tell, it's really the same. It's adding up with the cloud cover. As you saw, this is where we had the most dense cloud cover, and this is where we had that really heavy rain. You can really tell the difference between the snow and rain because this is just precipitation, not precipitation type. So really, we're just going to be seeing a ton of rain, and this is where we're starting seeing that snow developing right here. That is where we'll possibly see that snow developing, and then it'll possibly move to the New England area and to the Appalachians there. Now we're going to be looking out here into the national or into the NAM 12 kilometer model here. This is, as you can tell, the next really couple of hours, we're going to start seeing that snow throughout parts of New York and Pennsylvania. Here you have that very widespread of rain all the way from the southeast of the New England area. So a very wet weekend throughout or end of week for the northeast here and parts of the eastern coast. And as we move later into now tomorrow, we'll start seeing that snow becoming a lot more widespread now. Going to be seeing a lot of snow now throughout northeastern Pennsylvania, much of eastern New York, and also parts of the New England area to Vermont and New Hampshire. Going to be seeing very heavy snow for Scranton, Pennsylvania, areas out there near the Poconos area, as well for Utica, Texas, Albany, the Adirondacks, parts of southern Vermont. And as we now move the next really 17 hours by later tomorrow, we see this low pressure system at 997 millibars. And here we're seeing that very heavy snow down to parts of New Hampshire, Vermont, continuing out there into far western New York. This might even bring some snow showers for New York City, parts of near Hartford, Connecticut. Could be seeing that snow. And look at this low pressure system drastically drop. So as you can tell, we're going to be seeing extremely strong winds. Like I said, this is why we'll possibly see blizzard conditions. We're going to be seeing very powerful winds, especially right here. This year we're possibly seeing very strong winds. We'll possibly have wind advisories there in the coming hours. But this is going to be with this also very heavy snow. This is exactly why I think we'll be seeing a really possibly blizzard conditions, and then we'll have scattered snow showers throughout May, and then even by Monday. So this is like kind of like winter. We're gonna be seeing scattered snow all over the place. Now into the snowfall totals, as you can tell. This thing's going to be, we're going to be seeing the snowfall totals strengthening a lot, or actually getting a lot heavier and a lot higher because of this low pressure system. Around here, it was like at 990, maybe 990, 98, 997. That's why I start seeing only 1 to 3 inches of snowfall. Also, it's because it's going to be a lot warmer in these areas, maybe just above freezing. And in these areas, it's guaranteed to see below freezing as well. But as this low pressure system moves eastward, it's going to strengthen, and that's going to also strengthen that rate of snowfall. That's exactly why we're going to be seeing up to possibly close to 2 feet of snowfall in parts of Canada, and then just to the west, we're seeing only 2 to 5. So for areas really in the United States, we're seeing the most amount of snowfall areas near Caribou. We'll possibly have up to a foot of snowfall throughout these areas, likely for 9 to 12 inches of snow. We'll possibly have a possibility for now scattered 1 to 4 inches throughout areas into the northeast. Really, the most amount of snowfall, on the other hand, will be in northern New Hampshire with a 4 to 6 inches of snowfall. Now into the NAM3KM model. Here we have, of course, that snow developing in the next coming hours throughout New York and Pennsylvania. That's where possibly have just below freezing temperatures, and the areas that are seeing the rain. These areas that are seeing the rain are seeing just above freezing, so maybe 35 to 40 degrees. So that's exactly why we're seeing that really chilly rain. That is not something you see in May whatsoever, though, chilly rain. Here we'll be seeing that rain really intensifying throughout the mid-Atlantic coast in New York, 1,000 millibars in the 13 hours. And here we're seeing that snow throughout northeastern Pennsylvania, New York, and now entering out there into the Vermont area. So it'll be bringing some really heavy snow in the vicinity of Albany, the Adirondacks. Possibly could bring some snow showers in New York City. As we now move 4 hours in, this does drop 4 millibars, so it does drop quite at a fast rate. That's why we're going to be seeing that snowfall intensify. Look at these very, very strong winds now. Look at this, very strong. Look at the isobars. These isobars are incredibly close. This is going to bring in very, very powerful wind gusts here. Sorry guys, I also heard music. But we're going to be seeing 990 millibars in the next 22 hours. So this is now going to drop this is now going to drop around 8 millibars, and then continue to drop now up to 980, so that's around 20 millibar drop. But look at this. Look how close these isobars are. Look how close they are. They're literally so close to each other. This is indicating very powerful winds throughout Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts. You guys are definitely going to be seeing very strong winds in these areas at absolutely crazy wind gusts. We can possibly see up to 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts just based on the isobars, and then we'll see the scattered snow showers and maybe lake effect snow. Now it's a total snowfall. As you can tell, the NAM3KM model showing a lot more snowfall here than the NAM12. As you see, it is likely we can be seeing areas near Caribou seeing up to possibly 8 to 13 inches of snowfall. And just to the southeast, we're seeing up to 13 to 14 inches. But look at this right here. In this little section right here, we are seeing an absolutely crazy amount of snowfall. Look at this. That little area, that is more than 2 feet of snowfall in that color right there. That is absolutely crazy. We can possibly up to 2 to 4 inches now for parts of southern New York, up to possibly 1 to 3 inches for northeastern Pennsylvania, and up to possibly around half a foot for areas in the Adirondacks. But absolutely crazy amounts of snowfall for northern Maine. So we can possibly now we can possibly have up to 2 feet of snowfall for parts of Maine and New Hampshire right here. Let's go ahead. I don't think it actually tells us how much snow falls on the ground here exactly, but we'll go ahead and check this out here, Steve. It's definitely more than 2 feet here. But yeah, that's absolutely crazy here. As temperatures will be just at 32 degrees. So it's going to be, like I said, cooler in these areas. And then these areas where we're seeing less snowfall totals, it's around possibly on the lower side. At that point, it's going to be up to 50 degrees. So this is really showing you how these temperatures are coming into play. Now, as we now look into the pivotal weather here in the next coming hours here, and we're seeing that snow developing throughout Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. Obviously, going to be seeing that also heavy rain just to the south. As we get later on, we have that 1,001 millibars here, going to bring that snow throughout Vermont and parts of scattered northeast. Snowfall totals or snowfall rate will be on the lower side, but scattered areas like from Vermont, those higher elevations, could be seeing heavy snowfall rates. As we now get later into tomorrow, this low pressure system down at 993 millibars. So it is continuing to strengthen here. That's going to strengthen that snowfall rate for New Hampshire and Maine. And then look at this 984 millibars just 6 hours later. And look at these isobars. These isobars are so very close here for Massachusetts, for Rhode Island. Look how close they are right here. It's absolutely crazy. This is going to indicate very strong wind throughout the New England area in the coming days and the snowstorm, and that is why we could be indicating blizzard conditions for parts of Maine. And then we had a scattered area of scattered snow showers and lake effect snow on later Saturday night. Now let's go ahead and check out snowfall totals here. So this is what we're seeing. As you can tell, low pressure system very weak here. Very little snowfall. Well, it's a decent amount of snowfall, obviously, for this time of the year, but very little snowfall in general here, but also going to be warmer temperatures. As we get later into the New England area, this low pressure system starts to strengthen a little bit, but right here in the tip of Maine and Nova Scotia, this low pressure system is absolutely, it's so crazy here. It's going to continue to see that path as we move on. As you can tell, we're going to be seeing up to maximum, up to 6 inches left for parts of Pennsylvania there. Can be seeing up to around an inch left for State College. Could be seeing up to scattered 3 to 6 inches out there throughout parts of West Virginia, mainly from that lake effect snow. Could be seeing around a half an inch to maximum an inch for parts of Ohio. Could be seeing up to 6 inches of snowfall here. That's going to be the maximum for parts of southern New York. Could be seeing around 2 inches for Syracuse, around 2 to 3 inches for parts of Albany, maybe even the other areas just to the east, 4 inches. Could be seeing up to 2 to 5 inches for the Adirondacks. Areas into southern Vermont could be seeing up to 7 inches. Burlington up to 2 inches. Parts near Manchester can be seeing up to 5 inches. Throughout there into parts of central Vermont, 5 inches. Could be seeing up to 9 inches throughout Vermont, or sorry, New Hampshire. Could be seeing parts of western Connecticut up to 2 to 3 inches of snowfall. Hartford up to 1 to 2 inches. And we can also be seeing it throughout parts of northern Maine up to a foot of snowfall here throughout areas in Nova Scotia, up to 17 inches throughout areas. So crazy amounts of snowfall throughout those areas, of course. So definitely being up to around a foot and a half, and then crazy amounts of snowfall throughout Maine at this time of year. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, of course. Let's try to get as many subscribers by the end of May. If I really want to get to maybe 2,000, maybe 2,300 subscribers by the end of May, and we're at 2,230. So I think we can possibly do that. I mean, that's just that's only just 69 subscribers left. So let's try to do that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye, guys.